So two popular YA authors walk into a library. One is extremely popular because of his online persona and is the modern day John Hughes. The other is well known for writing stories with LGBT characters. They each decide to write a novel together, each focused on two different characters with the same name coming together in the strangest of circumstances. And the result is this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, my name is David Popovich, aka the Bookworm, and welcome to Bookworm Reviews. Sit back and relax as we dive into Will Grayson by John Green and David Leviathan.
Yay!
I can be a real asshole sometimes. The best way to look at Will Grayson is two novellas that share a common core. Both focus on a Will Grayson, but outside of name, they are nothing alike, as you'll soon see. Same with the big theme of the story. As you may have already guessed by the rainbow flag, this is another book focused on gay characters. But not where the two Graysons become a couple, like I thought at first. So who are the two Will Graysons? Let's start with John Green's... We get it, the bit is dead. John Green's Will Grayson, and he's your prototypical Green character, a high schooler who's an outsider with a love for all kinds of obscure music. John Green's Will tries to make it through his day doing two things. 1. Don't care too much. 2. Shut up. Everything unfortunate that has ever happened to me has stemmed from failure to follow one of the rules. The last time he broke those rules was when he decided to write a letter to the editor of the school paper about his friend Tiny Cooper, who yes, is not actually tiny, the right to play on the football team even though he is openly gay. Like, flaming gay. Like, vomiting rainbows and glitter gay. Tiny Cooper isn't just gay. He's fabulous! But because he signed his name, it basically made all his old friends abandon Will. And I don't regret writing the letter in the least, but I regret signing it. Signing it was a clear violation of the rule about shutting up, and look where it got me. Alone on a Tuesday afternoon, staring at my black Chuck Taylors. And calling Tiny a friend would be a stretch for Will. They just hang out as Will moans about not wanting to do anything, and Tiny falling in love with a boy in first period and breaking up with him by lunch. Not the best in terms of friends, but they get along well enough. But Tiny tries to get Will more out of his shell to check out this friend he knows named Jane, and Will takes a liking to her. She just seems like the girl of his dreams. Her whole face changes when she smiles. This eyebrow-lifting, perfect teeth-showing, eye-crinkling smile I've either never seen or never noticed. She becomes pretty so suddenly that it's almost like a magic trick. But it's not like I want her or anything. Seriously, dude? Not to sound like a jerk, but Jane isn't really my type. Her hair's kind of disastrously curly, and she mostly hangs out with guys. My type's a little girlier. Oh my god, please shut the hell up before you say something stupid. And honestly, I don't even like my type of girl that much, let alone other types. Not that I'm asexual, I just find romance drama unbearable. Pushover! You are a complete and total pushover! Let's see the other Will Grayson. What's he like? I am constantly torn between killing myself and killing everyone around me. Oh my... Yeah, so other Will is a depressed loner who thinks everything and everyone sucks because of how phony everyone is. He's emo Holden Caulfield. This is David Leviathan's portion, and to be fair, he shows emo Will is medically depressed and has had a hard time since his father left him, leaving his mom barely scraping by, so of course he would think everything sucks. And yes, it's Leviathan, so of course he's gay. Cause life keeps finding ways to suck for emo, but not all of it. There is one thing that makes everything suck just a little less. A special guy he discovered online named Isaac. And soon we were swapping pictures and MP3s and telling each other about how much everything pretty much sucked. But of course the ironic part was that while we were talking about it, the world didn't suck as much. Except of course for the part at the end when we had to return to the real world. Okay, take your bets. Who thinks emo is talking to a 50-year-old pedophile? Come on, you're all thinking it, but Emo won't believe you. He truly believes that Isaac is a teenage boy from Ohio with the username Bound by Dad, because they share a few pictures and he has a Facebook account. Do you by chance know what the term catfishing means? It's not like he's a 46-year-old who's already prepared a nice spot in the back of his unmarked van for me. I'm not that stupid. No, just completely stupid. But that doesn't stop him when Bound by Dad. I think it's time. Bound by Dad. Time for us to meet Grayscale. Alright people, we are in Code Red. I repeat, Code Red! Pedal Bear is about to strike! Pedal Bear is about to strike! Well, on the night Emo meets Isaac, Pushover is going out with Tiny and Jane to a concert, but is unable to get in because his just purchased fake ID only makes him 20 years old. Upset his friends left him alone on a Friday night, he decides to go into a local porn store because he could use his ID there, which is by chance the place Emo was to meet Isaac, but finds him nowhere in sight. Then they hear each other's names. Who are you? I stand up then and say, I'm Will Grayson. Willgrayson, he says, spelling impossibly fast. Yeah, I say. Why do you ask? The kid looks at me for a second, his head turned, like he thinks I might be putting him on, and then he finally says, because I am Will Grayson. Well, of course the two find it strange that of all the places, of all the days, of all the people, that two Will Graysons just bump into each other by accident. There aren't that many Will Graysons, he says. It's gotta mean something. One Will Grayson meeting another Will Grayson in a random porn store where neither Will Grayson belongs? Well, Emo tries to figure out where Isaac is, only to find out that Isaac never existed, but was the creation of his goth best friend who actually had feelings for him, but used Isaac to discover Emo is gay, which makes him fairly pissed off. But then Pushover's friends come out and he meets Tiny, and after that, everything changes. And that's more or less the basic plot of Will Grayson, Will Grayson. Pushover deals with overcoming being a mediocre teen to finally win over a girl he actually loves, while Emo deals with his emotions as he and Tiny become boyfriends, but Emo doesn't feel he deserves it. And while all that is going on, Tiny is putting on a high school Broadway musical called Tiny Dancer. Tiny Dancer is this musical written by Tiny. It's basically Tiny's slightly fictionalized life story, except it is sung, and it is, I don't use this adjective lightly, the gayest single musical in all of human history. All of which leads to a charming story about love and friendship of all kinds, with character banter that is pure green and Leviathan. They provide a story that in many ways looks at LGBT issues, but not in the stereotypical way. Like, of course, Emo has to go through the coming out arc, but they go through it so fast it's actually refreshing over going through another, this is who I've always been, I can't change me, you know the rest. And while the two leads are good characters, Tiny is the best. Again, he's just the definition of fabulous! And he goes through his own arc of making his musical not just about himself, but to show the world what LGBT is like in the way he can express it. It's a good story, though if you ask me, not a memorable one. Everything about it is fine. The writing is top notch as always. The characters are relatable. The dialogue is funny. But when I was done with it, I was just like, meh. Like, there's nothing I can say is bad unless John Green and David Leviathan isn't your thing. But I've heard this before. Pushover is basically the same main lead from Paper Towns, and Emo is every gay character you've read, just moodier. Again, this is a good book, and one that people will enjoy as it brings up issues of LGBT, but it didn't do much for me. Outside of the musical, the story doesn't stick out. Worth a look at least if you're a fan of the writers. What about you, Internet? What's your opinion about Will Grayson, Will Grayson? If you have a book you would like me to review, let me know in the comments below. Well, if you guys haven't noticed, I just surpassed 1,000 subscribers, and I asked you guys what book you would like me to review to celebrate. Well, I collected the 5 finalists, and now I ask you guys to vote. Go to my Facebook or Twitter to cast your choice, links down below, and I'll review it in 2 weeks. Till then, though, we will be taking a look at a classic icon. Till next time, have a nice day.